questions right now, and feel free to ask for Bella or Ella.
Ella, you seem locked in, but it's almost impossible to think a player can be that in the first week, but you seem really good. How did you feel like everything went for you and the team itself this weekend?
I thought it was the first game was just like where we were just finding our place, and I think as like the games went on, we just kind of started getting comfortable and started trusting ourselves as a team, started working together and really like trusting our mechanics and our stuff and all the training that went into this. So it was just like kind of like finding comfort actually playing another team, which was a little different, but we were so glad to finally play against someone else. But yeah, just being able to work our way through and find comfort in the later parts of the game.
Isabella, along those lines, just this weekend or this last weekend for you, your first time really suited up for Oklahoma. Just what was the weekend like for you, and how were you able to get into a rhythm early?
It was really, really fun. Definitely throwing against a different opponent. I was ready to see different faces in the box. We worked a lot mentality-wise with getting in a rhythm as a pitcher and staying in that rhythm. And your rhythm on the mound is something that you can control personally. So we've worked on that a lot. So honestly, it really wasn't difficult. It was just fun having the girls behind me and letting the offense do their thing, but also being able to shove on the mound for them as well.
Bella, I wanted to ask you too. We look at the defensive stats, only 1 error in 6 games. As a pitcher, how does it feel when you have that type of defensive play behind you?
It's relieving. I know that I can just spin my pitches through the zone, and it's funny. I was talking to our mentality coach before this, and in my routine, I tell myself before every pitch, trust your defense, let your defense work. It's just freeing to know that I can put a pitch pretty much anywhere, and if it's hit, they're going to make the play behind me.
For both of y'all, Ella, for you, what did you learn about this team offensively this weekend? And then Bella, for you, what did you learn about the pitching staff and the defense this weekend with the performances?
You want to go?
I can go. I think us as a staff learned that, you saw in multiple games there was multiple pitchers put in, and I think that's going to be the look that we're going to have this year, and you saw it work in the national championship game. So just figuring out how we work best as a team, and coming in and out of games and having each other's back, and how that we're able to be successful with doing that.
Just learning like with the extra inning games that we're a gritty team and we're going to find a way to get it done, and we're going to fight until the end.
Ella, how much fun was it to see those freshmen? You were in that spot last year, but seeing them and what they were able to do. Did you have any words of advice for them?
It was so cool to just see them elevate their game, and just seeing where they started when they first came with us to seeing them now. I'm just really happy for them and really excited to see them perform even more in the next couple of weeks with preseason, but just really, really excited for them.
Bella, along those lines, what about a young pitcher like Audrey getting her first, her feet wet for the first time? Just how do you feel the way she performed?
Yeah, so proud of her, Audrey and I are really close, and I know that she was just so excited for that moment, so ready for that moment, and she killed it. Me being a 5th year, I feel like I'm kind of like her mom here, and it's just like proud kid moment. But I couldn't be happier for her. She worked so hard, and just seeing her work shine through was great.
Bella, you pitched a lot at Campbell, so I maybe saw you a few innings here and there, but you've been with Coach Rocha now for a little bit. So are you a little bit of a different pitcher now, or was that the same Bella that you've always been in the out west?
I'm sorry, I don't really understand your question.
Have you morphed even more? Have you developed even more under Coach Rocha?
Okay.
Or were you very similar to what you were at Campbell last year?
I would say definitely the mental side of my pitching has elevated, which is really, really important for pitchers and athletes in general. That and just learning to control what I can control in the moment. My pitching coach at Campbell worked under Coach Rocha for a year, so there was a little bit of similarities, so an easier transition for me. But I think just overall, having a calmer mental space and completely being able to trust my defense while also growing a great relationship with Coach Rocha has really helped a lot.
Bella, similarly, I was talking with JT earlier, and he was talking about for pitching staffs, for softball relievers, that's like a more of a new thing. Something that baseball pitchers are like super used to. Have you always been comfortable coming out of the pen? Because there's even great pitchers here that are like, you have to start, otherwise it's like different.
Well, I would say coming from Campbell, I held a lot of the innings on my own. There were situations where I did have to come in and relieve, but it's going to be something that I am probably going to experience more here, which is completely fine. For me, I just want the ball whenever they need me to have the ball. I'm going to be ready whenever they need me, so I wouldn't say that it's something I'm going to have to get comfortable with. I would say I'm comfortable with it, just maybe something that I would have to get used to.
Is it like a different mentality knowing going into a game, like when you can warm up versus knowing might be the third inning, might be the fifth, like that kind of thing?
For me personally, not really. I know Coach Rocha will obviously tell us who's going to start the game, and then she might say who's in relief, but there also might be some times where she looks at you in the dugout and says, go get hot. But she's also trained us for that. She's put us in situations during practice where she'll just look at us and say, go get hot. So she's prepared us for any situation she's going to put us through, so we're all prepared.
For both players, just your thoughts on Coach Gasso being named Team USA coach?
I'm really excited for her, and I just think it's so amazing that we're in the state of Oklahoma, and to be able to play in the Olympics in the state of Oklahoma, that's a really good person to represent the softball world and just the state as well.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited for her, and I know I can speak for the entire team as well. Like, we are all really excited for her, and we're all rooting for her and standing behind her as she embraces this journey, and yeah, it's just really exciting.
What was the celebration like when you guys were told the news?
We actually got a phone call from her, and so it was kind of weird because she was supposed to tell us in person, but traffic was a little crazy, so it was a lot of screaming from the phone.
Yeah.
Ella, looked like you got to host a little shindig with the squad on, what was that, Saturday?
Yes.
What did that mean for you as far as being able to kind of like have the whole team over? And what was that like, Bella, for I guess for everybody to be able to have that kind of different team bonding on the road?
At first, it was a little weird because everybody was in my house, but just so thankful that we were able to actually do that, and being able to see my family. I was really excited to see my dogs. So being able to see them and being able to bring my family that I care so much about to my softball team and my new family in Oklahoma was really, really cool. It was like my worlds were colliding.
Well, we saw you draw, was it 5 walks, I think? Yeah. Over the weekend, obviously, pitching staffs could work you a little bit different this year with your place in this lineup versus a year ago. How do you manage that and try, maybe not to do too much in certain situations and sort of take what's given to you?
That's exactly what I'm trying to do. Just not taking anything for granted, but not trying to do too much with anything, and just taking it pitch by pitch and not really focusing on what I did last year, but really looking through and looking to what's ahead.
How much of an adjustment is that, though, when you're going from what you faced last year to,
I'm kind of the person that just like when it happens, it's over, and just look for the next thing. I try not to look more through the rear view, but straight ahead into the front windshield. And I think that's what helps me keep everything so simple and just like keeping everything like very like one step at a time.
You played a lot in the outfield, and I know you're a good athlete, so that, but I'm just, you were working at first. Was that any big deal playing out there?
I grew up playing in the outfield, so it was not really too much of an issue. I just had
Did she work you out? Have you been working out there a lot?
Yes.
Okay.
Kind of a fun question for both questions, and Brock was able to put your walk-up songs in the game notes, and I just want to ask you both for the significance of the walk-up songs that you have.
Oh, wait. Wait, those are my walk-up songs.
I can go. So one of mine is Broadway Girls by Morgan Wallen. Well, Morgan Wallen's featured on it. I say it's by Morgan Wallen. That was one of my walk-up songs I had last year, and I really enjoyed it. And it really didn't get played too much, so I just said I'd keep it. Another one is a worship song, probably a song that we'll play on a Sunday. And it's just another song that I really enjoy. And then my last one is just a really, really hype song, just to get the dugout hype too, and just have fun with it.
I think I Wish was on.
Yeah. I was actually driving with my sister when I was back at home for winter break, And that's when we got the text that we were able to get walk-up songs. So I was like, I need to figure something out. And she was like, put on I Wish by Skilo. And I was like, okay. So I did that. And then Beautiful by Snoop Dogg. I just really like the intro. And then my last one is Drop It Like It's Hot for my friend Alina Torres.
Another question I asked, and these guys remember this question, your numbers. Why do you pick the number that you wear?
So, oh, go ahead.
Go.
Okay. So at my previous school, I was number 17, and that was actually in honor of my biological father. That was his birthday. But obviously Peyton Monticelli wears that number, so I did 1 + 7 = 8, and here we are.
Mine's not that, not that good. It's after my favorite past Dodger, Corey Seager.
It's not bad.
Was your uncle able to make it out to any games?
He was able to make it out to San Diego and Fullerton, and a lot of my family was able to make it, which was really, really cool to finally be able to play in front of them.
Who's more excited, coach to see him or him to see you guys?
I don't know. They're both pretty. He's a pretty big fan. He's a pretty big fan. He saw her at a Dodger game and he was like, I'm starstruck.
Hey, Ella, you guys had a lot of your freshmen go hit that first career home run. From your experience, what is that like? Is it an exhale? Is it a pressure release just to see the first one kind of go over and then you can settle in and the nerves kind of falling away, that kind of thing?
I think definitely an exhale. Like, for me, I know I was like, I definitely took an exhale. I was like, finally. But I thought it was really cool that they were able to do that the first weekend out. And a couple, I think Tia got 2.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty impressive. But just really excited to see what they do with that now.
What was your reaction to Tia's going over the...
Mouth wide open. I was like, that went really far.
Awesome.
Yeah, appreciate it.